Have you ever heard the saying, life is like the seasons? You may have heard it from one of the most famous personal development teachers, motivational speakers of all time, Jim Rohn. He actually has a book called Seasons of Life. Um, and the idea of life is like the seasons. Now, we know we have four seasons in life. We have winter, spring, summer, and fall. Now, in these seasons, the idea is that life in itself is like these seasons. So, not only in the physical sense in our fleshly bodies, like we know when it's winter because it gets pretty cold. You know when it's summer because it's burning hot. You know when it's spring because the baby birds are singing. And you know when it's fall because that's when it's time to reap. The idea is that life is also like that. There are times in life where it gets pretty cold. There are times in life where it gets pretty hot. There's a time in life when it's time to sow, and there's a time in life when it's time to reap. So, in this video, I want to explain the trichotomy of life is like the seasons. So, what do I mean by that? So, the word trichotomy. Trichotomy. Trichotomy means the division of a things. So dividing things into three parts. And us as humans, we are a three-part being. We are our flesh, we are our mind, we are our spirit. So we are a spirit being, we possess a mind, and we live in a body, which is our flesh. And now the trichotomy of all this in regards to life is like the seasons is that each one of these parts of us experiences seasons. So the easiest one to explain is the flesh. So we obviously know what season we are in the flesh. When it's winter in the flesh, you know it's time to get your jacket. It's time to bundle up. It's time to light the fireplace. You can easily feel it because the flesh is a feeling. It's a response to the reality that you're living in. It's a feeling that you feel. In the summertime, when you feel hot, you strip down a little bit. You put your swim trunks on, okay? But the trichotomy of all this is that life is like the seasons in our mind and in our spirit. So the thing is, we can be in three different seasons at the same time, and this is something that blew my mind when I really started to understand this. What if I'm in winter in the flesh? I'm in winter in my mind, and I'm in spring in the spirit. I'm in the winter in my flesh, where it's actually cold. Let's say it's December if you're in the United States. Um, but let's say in my mind too, it's winter. I'm having sad thoughts and I'm being attacked in my mind. But let's say in my spirit though, I'm in the spring. My spirit feels good. So this is the meaning of you can be in three different seasons throughout the three different parts of who you are. So let's take each one and break it down a little bit. So we know the flesh. That one's the easy one. We know the flesh is that it's basically on how your physical reaction to the elements. Okay? So in the spring, your body is the most comfortable. You can basically go outside and in any wearing anything and have a general sense of comfort. Okay, in the summer, like we said, you're gonna get your trunks on. The winter, you want to bundle up. In the fall, it's kind of similar to the spring. It's the time to reap. It's a good feeling. How do these work in the mind? How does these work in your mind? Well, now we start to get into uh, a more deeper idea of this. How does this play out in the mind? Well, let's say you're in the winter of your mind. Someone in your family just passed away. That really affects your mind. That's a winter thought. You just lost your job. Uh, you just got into a bad car accident. You find yourself in the hospital, or you're at a crossroads and you don't know where to go. These are the deeper meanings of life is like the seasons. It's it's a comparison on a deeper level. It's something you can take. I like the way that it's put like this because it's something that you can take that's simple to understand, like the seasons and what they represent, and then apply it to your life to get an understanding of, okay, where am I at currently? So if you're in the winter, this could be a very hurting time. That's what the comparison is. That's what the comparison is. You know, it's a little tough. If you're in the spring in your mind, maybe you're having amazing thoughts. You know, you just came up with that next bright idea for the next great business you're about to start, or you just found your wife just told you we're having a baby. You know, you just got in that brand new relationship with that girl, that guy you've been googling over all last winter. You know, this is the spring of your mind. Your mind is fresh. You're thinking about the possibilities. What about in the fall of your mind? Now, the fall of your mind is when it's time to reap. You know, you've been saving up all year, and now you can finally buy that house, or finally buy that car, or move into that brand new apartment. This is the fall where it's time to reap. It's time to reap the plants that you've been growing. It's time to reap the apples off the tree. You know, this is the fall season. In your mind, in your mind, you're understanding that uh, all the things that you've done up through the spring is now paying off for you in your mind. Now, what about in the summer of the mind? This is the time where you need to defend your mind. Summer is a time of defense. Summer is a time of defense. And the summer is when we get attacked. Just like the summer, and think about it this way. Think about it from the perspective of a gardener. Life is like the seasons in the perspective of a gardener. If you think about it that way, it makes a lot more sense. It's a lot more easy to comprehend the whole idea of it. In the summer in your mind, defend yourself. If you find yourself being attacked by people bringing you down, giving you negative energy, telling you you're not this, you're not that, you can't do it, what are you trying to do? Why are you wasting money? Go back to your old job. What are you doing over here? Why are you talking to that person? All the attacks. This is when it's time to guard your mind in the summertime of your mind. Okay, so that's a little bit about the mind in the way life is like the seasons of your mind. Now, what about in the spirit? Life is like the seasons in your spirit. We are a spirit. We are a spiritual being. We possess a mind, which is our thoughts and our processes and our programming. And we live in this fleshly body, which enables us to even have this experience. We are the spirit. What about the winter of your spirit? This is something that you can see in a lot of people that this is like a common comparison for winter spirit. With like somebody may see somebody with billions of dollars or millions of dollars, like how can that person be sad? How can that person have any problems at all? Like what this dude's a billionaire. What is he crying about? He's a billionaire in the flesh. He may be in the spring in his fleshly wealth, but we don't see his spirit. He may be in the winter of his spirit. You don't know what's going on in his spirit that's causing him to be like that. You know, so this is the trichotomy of life. It's like the seasons. You can be in three different seasons at the exact same time, in three different in all the three different aspects of our experience here. So if you're in the winter of your spirit, what if something tragic just happened, you know, in your family, with your health that nobody knows about? What if you just went to the doctor and got diagnosed that you have cancer and you haven't even told anybody yet? What is that does to your spirit? You know, that hurts. That could possibly cause a winter of the spirit and a winter of the mind. What if you just did something treacherous? What if you just committed adultery? You're in your spirit. You just broken in the spirit. These type of things cause the winter of the spirit. So you could be in the spring in your flesh, and you could be in the winter of your spirit. You could be in the spring of your flesh, the winter of your spirit, in the spring of your mind. You can be in the spring of your flesh, the winter of your spirit. You just got diagnosed with a uncurable disease. All things are curable, but let's for this example, uncurable disease. But in your mind, you can be in the spring because you just came up with that great idea that's gonna shoot your business to the moon. Understanding these trichotomies of this life, just like the seasons, and how each part of us as a being can be in different seasons, it helps us understand where we are currently and maybe why we're acting a certain way. Sometimes you can be acting a certain way towards others, towards yourself, self inflicting pain, bringing pain to others, all because you may think that you're just living the seasons of the flesh and not understanding where your spirit is, not understanding where your mind is. Okay. So here's a little tip that I learned through Jim Rohn, and it's the ant philosophy. Now, the ant is one of the most amazing creatures on this earth that God created. The ant is like super small, but he can lift up 10. He and she can lift up 10 times their body weight. Super strong creatures. But the ant philosophy, and this will help out a little bit, especially with the flesh, the mind, and the spirit. In the summertime, draw a little ant here. It's our little happy ant. In the spring and in the summer, what does the ant do? If you ever seen an ant in the spring and the summertime, what are they doing? For one, ants are always working. I've never seen an ant just chilling back on a rock. So that just gives us a little hint right there. We need to constantly, steadily be working, okay? Especially in the spring and the summer. The ant is harvesting. He's collecting all the fruits, all the things that he need, and bringing it back to the to the colony in the summer and the spring. Why? Because the ant understands that winter is coming. I feel a lot of us struggle with this. It's because we don't understand that life is like the seasons and that winter is coming. We could be having an amazing spring at the moment, and we could be going to the pool every day in the summer. Like Jim Rohn said, if you don't plant in the spring, you're going to beg in the fall. So we have to understand that we still have to be putting in that work. We have to be putting in that work in the spring and the summer so we don't fall in the fall, so we can actually reap in the fall. So in the spring, harvest all you can. Work as hard as you can. Okay? Put that work in. Sow those seeds. Because some of them are going to fall on thorny ground. Some of them are the birds are going to get it. And some of them are going to fall on magnificent ground and give you 10 times your return. But you got to plant. You got to sow. Okay? So in the wintertime, we want to be able to survive the winter. Okay? The winter time is not always easy and it's not always hard. Some winters are going to be longer than others. Some winters are going to be uh, shorter than others. But we have to plant in the spring, take care, shield ourselves in the summer, reap in the fall, and prepare and protect what we have in the winter in preparation. So when the next spring come, we could hop out of the colony strong and be ready to run it all back and do it all again at a bigger level on a bigger scale. But what happens is if you don't plant in the spring, you don't protect in the summer, you don't reap in the fall, and you have a extremely difficult winter. Some people don't survive the winter. There are some people last winter who didn't make it to this spring, unfortunately. And that could be in the flesh, that could be in the spirit, that could be in the mind. Okay? One of the best things for you to do in regards to the trichotomy of the seasons is take a piece of paper, write down You can write body. You can write body, which is your flesh, just so you understand that. Body, I mean flesh. When I say body, I mean flesh. Just so you know, I'm not talking about your mind. I'm talking about your fleshly, your feelings. If I poke you, that's what I'm talking about. Your flesh. Take a piece of paper, write down your body. Write down. Let me get out there. Let me get out there. Write down your body. Write down mind. Your mind. I'm talking about your brain, but also it's really your whole body. Like you can't really, if you ask somebody where's the mind, they're pointing to their brain, but it's really inside of it. It's everything inside of it. It's what's making all this happen right now. I don't know how I'm doing this, how I'm moving, but I'm moving because it's the mind. It's the whole thing. So it's the mind, which is also our thoughts. And this is mainly what I'm talking about is our thoughts. And your spirit. And your spirit is you on the deepest level. Your spirit is what is gonna go to heaven when your fleshly body dies. Your spirit is what you really are. This your flesh is just so you can experience this reality here on earth. Your spirit is who you really are on a deep level. So this one will be this one could be the most challenging. But I want you to really try to focus on that. So that's yourself on a deep level. What I want you to do, think about the seasons. You got spring, summer, winter, and fall. Oh, sorry. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. And just where you are now, think about where you are now. I understand. So the easiest one to do is where you are right now in the flesh. So I'm here in California. It's the end of April. We're in spring. So in my flesh, I'm in the spring, right? Okay. Now let me think about my mind and my thoughts. Okay. Let's say, well, I'll give my own example. Right now, I'm currently building a business. I'm working on it. I'm building it up, but I'm struggling a little bit. I'm finding some fight in it. Everything isn't moving as smoothly as I want it to. Where would I put myself in my mind and my thoughts right now? I would say I'm in the summer. I would say I'm in the summer. I'm fighting. I'm battling. I planted some seeds. Now I have to defend them. Now I have to water them. Now I have to protect what I've been planting. So this is where I am in my mind, in my thoughts, in my spirit, in myself, in my spirit, in myself. Hmm. I've been battling a little bit here too. I've been feeling a little less than within myself. I've been feeling like my spirit, who I am, is not enough. So I'm gonna put myself in the summer here as well. Okay. I can go winter, but it's not that bad. I'm not cutting myself yet. But I can go here, but definitely feel I'm more in the summer. So what I want you to do, look at where you are in the flesh. If you're in America, most of us are experiencing spring right now. Ask yourself, where am I in my mind? What season am I in my mind? And then what it's gonna do is you're gonna do some self reflection, and it's gonna show you like, I'm in this season in my mind because of these things. And then it's going to bring those things to the forefront. And then you can figure out what you need to do to get into the spring or get into the fall or get into the winter, depending on where you want to go and where you want to be. Also in your spirit, it'll let you know what's going on. Maybe you're in the spring in your spirit, you feel amazing. Everything is good. You feel proud and very good of yourself and your spirit is on high. But your mind is in the winter because all you can think about is that person that just left you, or you haven't seen your kids in a year, or someone close to you just passed. So Take this for yourself, add it all up, see where you are, because life is like the seasons, and this can really help you out in knowing where you are and where you want to go. So I hope I was able to serve you today, and I hope this helped a little bit. My name is Stephen Laws Jr. If you like the video, go ahead and give that thumbs up. And yeah, until next time.